What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a much earlier edition of NBA Liddy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Sweep of the video. Very nice stuff there on Monday. Obviously, Trey Harris lock comes through. Nobody talks about it because, again, I've only had 3 locks in the NFL streets this season on this video. 5 total when you include the premium Discord, because we had the Saquon Barkley one. Well, real ones, remember the Judkins one. That one was in the premium Discord. We had this one, obviously the Harris one, had 2 others in addition to it, and 5-0. 5-0 on NFL locks. 3-0 on this video. NFL locks. That feels good. That makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. When I upgrade a play, take note of it. Obviously, I even explained why I didn't make it a ladder over on X. And I think that explanation probably matters more than anything, just giving you one individual play. So if you don't follow me over on X, go to @EricLindquist and take a look at it. I'm not just trying to put information out there to try to sound smart or to say that I know this or I know that. There are so many bettors who know more than I do. There are so many bettors that I appreciate who are so insanely sharp and don't even have to try. And obviously, sometimes it seems like I'm trying hard, but the point is that I care about you. And despite sometimes people in the premium Discord pissing me off because, well, they've been there for a couple of years and yet they still can't figure out why it is that I'm profitable all the time. I'm posting the plays right in front of your face, and then they just highlight one missed play. Again, I added Dante DiVincenzo over 3s. He missed everything. He could not hit the broadside of a barn against Colin Gillespie, and just absolutely nobody's. Grayson Allen out there defensively. Ridiculous stuff, but ended up being an awesome 4-in-1 day over for me overall, if you don't take into account the $1 Duke's Nukes. So Duke's Nukes is fantastic, though, and obviously it's got a massive ROI coming off of last Wednesday when we hit that massive Ryan Nembhard card. But you know what? It's only 2 games. Obviously, I'm going to be breaking that down here. I've got one play for you, one lean that we'll start off with here as well. Lots to get to in the NBA streets just because it's the NBA Cup, and I guess that matters to the Emirates or to the NBA or whatever. This schedule sucks this week, so I'm going to do the best that I can with what I've been given. Plus, I feel like I've been reading the board pretty darn well. I think Sunday could have been an absolute smash if a couple of things had broke our way. Obviously, injuries. You can't really account for the Tyrod Taylor thing to add Nye Mitchell. That would have been nice to have 4 quarters of that opportunity against Miami and their secondary. They've been pretty sneaky good against the run. Talked about that quite a bit. But you know what? Let's get to it. But first, promo code LOGO is still rocking, rolling. You can take advantage. Promo code LOGO, 50% off a week or month of the Lindy VIP. Yeah, you know me. Go to the comment section below. Love for you guys to come kick it and check out all that we got going, including just tails in general. Tails.bet/Lindy. I posted Duke's Nukes about 20 minutes before kickoff here today. I wanted to wait for the high point of Will Dissly touchdown. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition, but it's a $1 card, and I'm always thinking about your bankroll, and I always know that some people, that might be a lot of money. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunities that we have. Oh my God, the Chargers just had a pick. That's game. Oh my God. But anyway, Trey Harris lock season. That felt really good. You know what? Without further ado, download the Tails app and let's get to the plays. Alrighty, play number 1. Well, it's actually not a play. It's going to be a lean. Miami taking on Orlando. Just to give you some context, we've got injury news that we're waiting in the wings for in the next game. Not a ton here that matters all that much. Drew Smith did get the start last game. I'm still pissed off at him. We got closing line value there by jumping in immediately before he was announced a starter. Did it matter? No, he played like absolute dog doo-doo, and that was all she wrote. So Davion Mitchell back for this one, as is Tyler Hero. So Drew Smith, his injury status is not going to matter nearly as much here, but Pell Larson off the injury report. Jaime Hawk has been playing a ton of backup minutes there. Nikola Jovic going to probably be coming off the bench here as we expect Mitchell, Hero, Powell, Wiggins, and Adebayo to be your starting 5. On the Orlando side, we're starting to see the minutes get ramped up for Paolo Banchero. Now, you just got a Franz Wagner lower left leg injury, which is a really, really annoying piece if you're an Orlando fan. But Paolo Banchero, 22, 24 minutes, now maybe 26, 28 minutes, maybe more, if he's able to just jump into a larger role here. I want to pump the brakes, though, because I did see some sharp people that had some analysis saying that he could play 32, 34 minutes. I think that was just crazy. Right when you see 20, 22 minutes in his first game back, be careful. be careful to not overexpose yourself to situations just because there's only 2 games. I know there's going to be people putting Paolo Banchero analysis out into the world. I think for these NBA Cup games, his range of outcomes is pretty darn wide. And obviously, we can still identify value with things that have wide range of outcomes. Otherwise, there's a lot of bets we would never make. But I think for somebody like this, when you're seeing 8.5 rebounds, 9.5 rebounds, 18.5 points, 20.5 points, it's really hard for me to get a grasp because the market doesn't really know what to do. It kind of gets groupthink, kind of gets a consensus. If I do anything, I'm probably going to end up shorting Paolo Banchero, just throwing that out there, just based on his opening numbers. But Tristan da Silva, a little bit sneaky. Davion Mitchell assists, maybe a double-double, a little bit sneaky. But this game is by far the least appealing of the two. We've got Tyler Hero, over 21.5 points, my favorite of them. You're going to see him cut into Norman Powell's usage that we had for the first couple of months, mainly because Tyler Hero didn't play alongside Norman Powell for the first couple of months. And, well, there you go. Norman Powell, even though he's been one of the most efficient scorers, doesn't need like 30, 35% usage like some of these other volume scorers, including Paolo Banchero on the other side. But Tyler Hero, 21.5 points. I'm leaning that direction, but there are a lot of other props that I still think are equally as interesting as this one. Plus minus 115. That needs to come down to minus 110 or so for me to actually pull the trigger. So we're going to wait on it, and you're going to jump on Tails. You're going to go follow me, right? Tails.bet/Lindy. That make me happy. I'm going to post some free plays over the course of these NBA Cup games, mainly because there's only 2. I'm also going to have a lot of VIP stuff. Plus, we'll talk process over on X as well as on this video, as well as in the premium Discord. To the last game, to the play we go. Alrighty, y'all, the New York Knicks, 4.5-point favorites taking on the Toronto Raptors. And this one was a little bit surprising to me. There's 2 Q tags that exist on this. And obviously, RJ Barrett continues to be out for Toronto. But Jamal Shed, he's an interesting guy off the bench. Obviously, assist rate out of control here for the Toronto Raptors. I almost said Blue Jays. I love baseball. I'm looking forward to some scene in March until we get some scene back in our life. It's going to be all right, friends. And Karl Anthony Towns, especially if I sweep the board again. Karl Anthony Towns, this one is the Q tag that matters between the two. Now it's NBA Cup. Emirates wants him to play. I'm sure everybody else does too, but considering his left calf tightness and considering the New York Knicks have title aspirations in a wide open Eastern Conference, you best believe they'll be cautious with him if they need to. Now, I set his chances at playing in this game at 75%. 3/4 of the time. Again, just want to give it a smooth, round number. You go to dunks and threes, sometimes they middle it. You'll see half of what their production would potentially be. I went to the 75% side of things. And it almost doesn't matter because Toronto is very undervalued in this spot. We're talking about, you go to dunks and threes, you take a look around at some of the amazing tools that they have, and you go to team stats, and you look at the Knicks, plus 5.9 adjusted net rating. Really, really good stuff. In Toronto, they're dead middle of the pack, but they're still positive, plus 0.2. And despite a very weak start to their season, they play very long possessions on the other side. They are allowing their opposition to take a long time to score because they have Scotty Barnes, because they have Brandon Ingram, so very long, wide-armed wings. And as such, you reduce some of the possession length, you get a 225.5 total, you get a competitive spot. I'm taking the points all day, especially when Karl Anthony Towns is something that I'm evaluating at 25% chance of potentially working out for me. I've got this spread just inside of 2.5 points, just inside, not quite crazy to 2 or 1.5 for saying that it's going to be lock territory. But when you talk about models and you talk about how you go about your process, I've talked very forward about how I go about it on Dunks and Threes, on Add More Funds, on PBP Stats, on all of these great sites. And we can kind of accumulate and aggregate data and have it work for us. Almost everywhere has this at 3, 2.5. And I have cat news that can work out in my favor where he is currently evaluated within that sample size. So Toronto plus 4.5. Kind of wild that a spread and not a prop is my favorite play coming into Tuesday. But hey, I just am here to evaluate the board, and that is where I landed. And you can land over at Tails. Follow me on Tails, tails.bet/Lindy, or in the premium Discord. We had a really, really good time. In fact, I get to blow up at somebody. That was fun too, because, well, sometimes people suck, and that is the way that it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Use code LOGO. Hey, there you go. And that does it for another edition, a post-sweep edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know if you tailed Trey Harris. Lock season over in the NFL streets, over 9.5 receiving yards. Could not have nailed that scenario anymore in a million years. Had the one catch, 18 yards, talked about it. Low A dot still. Felt as though you could have 2 points there, 2 catches that worked out in your favor. And then in the NBA streets, the Trey Murphy read was completely perfect. The under read for Sacramento Indy, despite a crazy third quarter, was nearly perfect. So I'm going to try to run that back here on Tuesday. I'm going to be cautious, though. I don't want to just force bets for the sake of forcing bets, but you're probably going to get a Dukes Nukes every one of these Tuesday, Wednesday NBA Cup 2 gamers, purely because very, very low dollar amount in order to find some upside. Plus, I do think the Pick'em streets, underdogs specifically, some multipliers that are very soft. We got tons of CLV, despite the fact Will Dissly was nowhere near an end zone tonight. Alrighty, y'all. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday. Enjoy the NBA Cup. See you back here Wednesday, nice and early.